Hi there, so in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to typeset what I covered in my last maths video. So you can see here on the right that the format of this is kind of different to what I did in my maths video. So here I've got my question number and I've got a diagram of a triangle, and then I've got some maths which says I've got the opposite and the adjacent. And I go through the math steps involving the tangent, and then I find my final result. So that's the output talked through. Now let's talk through the code. So I start with the question number, after my standard intro obviously. Then I put a V space in. And moving on to the start of this tikzpicture, which is the environment that I use to create this triangle. So the triangle runs from here to here. And let's start by talking through. So some bits you don't really need to worry about. For example, this line here isn't very important. Obviously, you will need to keep this in if you're ever going to create something using tikz, but the only thing you need to really worry about here is this scale command. It's as it sounds with it being scaled. So for example, if I change this to a 2 and run it, the triangle should come out quite a lot smaller. So yeah, you can see it should come out small. That's all you need to worry about in the first line. Okay, now I set some coordinates. So I start with this coordinate that I've called A. Now you might be wondering, where's A? Because I can't see it on the right. Well, to show it to you, A is this corner that I've got my magnifying glass over. B is this corner. And C is this corner. Okay. Now also, as I pointed out in the end of my maths video, this triangle is not to scale, and it's still not to scale in what I've got here. However, it doesn't really matter. All you need is something that forms a triangle with the right angle in it, which I've got. Okay, down to the next line, I've set my coordinate of B, and I've set my coordinate of C. So what I do in the first line is I set this to be 0, 0, the origin. So I base everything on it. So B is 1 along from A, and C is 1 along from A, and then 1.73 and so on down, which is actually a rounded version of root 3, which is what it would be if we were being precise. But this can't take any mathematical notation here, so we have to leave it at just a decimal. Right? Now I've got it to draw in blue 3 things here. Now blue just selects the color of the lines in this triangle. So this is going from A to B, this is going from B to C, and it's going from C back to A. So this sets the 3 lines that form the triangle. Okay, now this here is what's giving us the labels of op equals 10 and adj equals A. So I'm saying that on the line from A to B, which is the top horizontal line, I've got it's above it, and it's midway, so it's in the middle of it. So it's in the above middle, which matches with what we're seeing. And I've said here, in these curly brackets, what I should have, which is \text of op equals 10 in math mode. And then here, I've got from B to C, and I've got here from B to C. It's on the right of it, and it's midway through it. Okay. And I've got my text here, which is adjacent equals A. And I've got no node for the line from C to A. Okay, so now I'm drawing an angle. So this is the 11-degree non-right angle. These 2 lines here. And the right angle is just this line. So here I've got draw angle with a radius of 1 centimeter, and you can set this radius to be anything, and this tells you how big the arc will be of the angle. I've said it's going to be blue, and then I've said it's going to be 11 degree. The backslash degree is the command for the little circle, which shows it's in degrees. There's just the label for the angle. I could set this to anything I wanted. And then I set the eccentricity to 1.3. And the angle, but that's not really important right now. The key thing is the angle, which I said it's B, C to A, which tells the code that it goes from B to C to A. Now, you may be thinking that A, C, B would be identical, but it's not. Let me show you. A, C, B, run that, and this comes out as this. So you can see that's a completely different thing if I put that back to how it was now. Okay, so I've got it mark right angle. Now I've set the size to be 0.1, and I've said it's going to be blue, and I've said it's A, B, C. So very like here, I've got it from A, B, C for this right angle. Okay, so that's the end of my triangle. That's pretty much the end of the new stuff. Let me show you a couple of new commands that I've used in the align environment. Okay, I've used the \text command here, and I've used a space in it. Now spaces don't matter in math mode, so I took the space out there and put it back in here. You would effectively lose the space, and I've set it to 2 decimal places. Now here we've got the l-dots command, which basically tells it that it's ... and it's at ground level, so at the base. C dots puts it in the middle, but when you're doing a ... to show a number has more decimal places than shown, it's always best to use an l-dot, so it's right at the bottom. Okay, then we've got the degree command, which you put after a number to put a little degree symbol after it to show that it's in degrees. And then we've got \tan. Now this just formats a tan like here, just with normal letters. Now you may be thinking, why do we need a backslash in front of it? Well, if I take the backslash out here and I run it, and you'll soon see, so that comes out as in italics, and when I put the backslash in, it formats it in normal letters and also with a slight space after it, which makes it easier to read. Okay, and I just run that again to put it back to how it was. So moving above, there's nothing new. You've got a defect for 10/8. You've got some backslash dots to give some more space. I've used some intertext, some endgraf. Now you may have noticed here that I haven't put my 5 ampersands and 2 backslashes after this. Now, when it's at the end of a block, it doesn't really matter. When it's at the end of an align environment, it doesn't matter. However, if this was in the middle, it would throw up a whole host of errors and problems. So it doesn't really matter whether I include one here or not. In this case, I haven't. So that was how to code what I covered in my last maths video, finding a side length in a right angle triangle using trigonometry.